YouTube, it's Eric. This theme of this video is going to be in tune with my last one. I was just doing some more research here, and I found another fresh batch of government seals that have the Roman wreath on it. Okay, so I'm just going to show you these new ones that I found. Okay, this is just further evidence that Rome does control the world. Okay, outwardly via symbolism. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this video fairly short. There's not as many connections in this video as the last one, so it won't be as long. Here's the coat of arms of Nicaragua. You see here, here's Guatemala's coat of arms. I covered Guatemala's emblem in the last video. It has the Roman wreath. Here's the coat of arms of Costa Rica. Costa Rica. See right there. Okay, Republica de Costa Rica. Roman wreath right there. See, let me see if Costa Rica, the main emblem, has a Roman wreath. Let me see. The Costa Rica coat of arms has the Roman wreath. Not outwardly on their emblem, but you see right here, Costa Rica. And there's Nicaragua. El Salvador, you see right here, Republica El Salvador, Roman wreath. Okay, right there. I'm going over the Roman wreaths connections that I didn't go over in my last video. So there's El Salvador, Costa Rica, Ecuador, and Nicaragua right here. And Guatemala that I just showed you. Actually, here's the back to the United States. Here's the Department of Defense, United States of America. See here the Roman wreath right here. Okay. Let me see if anyone's watching this video. Okay. Oh, is my how's my audio right now, Harv? But nice to see you again. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go over. I saw that your comment about Operation High Jump. I'm gonna show that in this video. Yeah, the Operation High Jump seal with the Roman Reef was really interesting. We see here the Department of Defense has the Roman Reef. Even here's a newer one here. Department of Defense 50th commemoration Roman Reef right there. Okay. Here's the next one I found. Here's a Roman fasci. Here's the Great Seal of the Second French Republic that was led by the Jesuit coadjutor Napoleon III. And look at here, you got the Virgin holding the Roman fasci. 1848. That's funny. Here's the Commonwealth the coat of arms of Australia. You see here the Commonwealth coat of arms. You see here Australia, Roman Reef right underneath with the Maltese cross right there. Okay, can't make this up. The Australia coat of arms. So this logo here, the National Sheriff's Association, has the Roman Reef and the Roman fasci. Here's the fasci in the center with the Roman Reef coming out the sides with association filling the Roman Reef. See where my mouse is doing? Okay. And I've covered this in a previous video, but there's a Roman fasci on the U.S. Marines insignia. Okay. Oh yeah, Rome did never fall. Yeah, it's absolutely. Look at here, for example. Here's the national emblem of Somaliland. Roman Reef right there. Somaliland has this country, Somaliland, put AK-47s on their emblems also. They're the first country to do that. Here's their national emblem of Somaliland, Roman Reef right there. Yeah, with the phoenix and the scales of Libra. Cross got. Oh, is that a Saturn reference? No, the Jesuits definitely. You could call them the priesthood of Saturn, just because they're like the Grim Reapers. Interesting here. Here's the seal of the state of Texas. Look at this right here. What do you notice about the seal of the state of Texas? Oh, right there, it's the Roman Reef. There, right there. Laredo, Texas. I did a video on right now. Like Texas is a state where tons of Roman Catholic Latinos are being smuggled through the United States border on Texas. Here's the Texas Secretary of State logo right here. See, in Texas, literally has Roman Reefs on all of their seals. I'm gonna show you another connection to Texas. And here's going way back there. Here's the 1936 seal, the Republic of Texas, and then Rome took over. It looks like sometime in 1840. Here's the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco. So this is the BATF board right here. Okay. Oh, Saturnalia is it? Oh yeah, Saturnalia is that's like where like our modern like Christmas celebration comes in. Saturnalia was all about like indulging in indulging in drink, giving people material gifts. And it was always celebrated on the 25th of December. But the 25th of December is like it go the reason that date is significant is because it has to do with the winter solstice and astrotheology and the path of the sun. The sun apparently dies for 3 days in the northern hemisphere. Oh, Saturnalia is different. Okay, I'll have to look into that. Yeah, because it's intriguing. Was it just like essentially like a pagan festival? Festival? Okay, Italy used to be called Saturnia. Yeah, I'll look into that. Yeah, that's great information. I covered in part one of this video. You see here the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, the Roman Reef, and here's the U.S. alcohol BATF. You see here, incorporated 1972 Roman Reef right there at the Scales of Libra. You see here the gold trimmed reef on the BATF logo. Here's another one here. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Roman Reef. Who's controlling the BATF? Okay, here's another one here. The U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency, the DIA. Okay, the Defense Intelligence Agency, United States of America. You see right there, green Roman Reef right underneath. Okay, right there. Okay, here's another seal here. Here's the Defense Clandestine Service, Defense Intelligence Agency, Roman Reef. Here's another one of the DIA. Yeah, so Rome controls the CIA and the DIA in the United States. Okay. Here's a defense prisoner of war seal. You see right here. You see defense prisoner of war, Roman Reef right here. Interesting. This department, this government department, was recently created in 2015. Here, I'll pull this up really quick. It's called the DIPMO. Here, I'll just show you that. Yeah, defense prisoner of war. Because guys, you have to realize right now, like John Brennan, Jesuit-educated CIA director, created the disposition matrix kill list. So anyone who's targeted like a terrorist now can be taken out. You see your defense prisoner of war personnel as personnel office as a part of the United States Department of Defense, which I showed you as the Roman Reef right there. Okay, which is was an organization that reported to the Undersecretary of Defense through the Assistant Secretary of Defense. DIPMO provided centralized management of prisoner of war slash missing personnel. So this group here, like this organization will be working with Guantanamo Bay. They're saying maybe Guantanamo Bay. I should look if they have the Roman Reef in their seal. That'd be funny. Here's a here's the Defense Information Systems Agency. Here's another one in the United States. You're seeing these United States government agencies are filled with Roman symbolism. You see here's the Defense Information Systems Agency right there, Roman Reef. Okay. Here's another government veterans organization. You see here the Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Small Businesses is the United States government. So the United States government sets aside contracts benefits for companies who are considered quote service disabled veteran owned small businesses. So I wonder if given there's a Roman Reef in this organization's logo, I wonder if the Catholic veterans would get more funding from this group. I would give a 99% hypothesis that that is the case of what's happening. We see here the veteran owned small businesses organization, US government program, Roman Reef. And actually, Trump nominated Robert Wilkie to be his United States Veterans representative, and he has 2 Jesuit degrees. It's Robert Wilkie. Oh, the five is that the Rothschild symbol? The 5 arrows. It looks like that's 6. Are you talking about on the Defense Information Systems Agency logo, Harp? It looks like they got 6 bolts coming out of this one. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen there was a I don't know if you see my video on Time Magazine, Harp. There was a Rothschild that made the Henry Lou Skull and Bones Time Magazine. His name is Louis the Rothschild. And if you haven't seen it, in my video on my channel, Vatican Billions, Chapter 26, there's some information on recent 1970 Vatican Rothschild financial transactions. So here's Texas Human and Health Services. We saw that the Secretary of State of Texas and the State of Texas seal has the Roman Reef, and here you got the Texas Health and Human Services Roman Reef, right there. Okay. Yeah. So check out this website. I found this. I'll link this in the description. You see here. This is the United States. Um, this is a website this here showing the United States agency seals, and this is actually here's another one here. This is big. I didn't cover this. The current head of the Federal Reserve Bank is Jerome Powell. But the Federal Reserve Bank of New York is where the Federal Reserve keeps their gold. You see your Federal Reserve Bank of New York, incorporated May 18th, 1914. Roman Reef right underneath. Okay, guys. And who is the Supreme Court Justice, who is Chief Justice of the United States when the Federal Reserve Act was drafted? Well, it was none other than a Jesuit-educated, devout Catholic, Edward Douglas White, who actually served in the the Confederate Army during the Civil War. Yes, Jefferson Davis was actually intended to be crowned by Pope Pius IX. The Pope was intending on the South winning the Civil War, and that's why Archbishop Hughes enacted draft riots in the North, and thousands of Northern Catholics refused to fight for Lincoln. And you can see that Lincoln was quoted saying famously that there's a dark cloud on America's horizon, and that cloud comes from Rome. Okay, I recommend Charles Cheney's book, 50 Years in the Church of Rome, and there's a bit of information in The Dollar in the Vatican on uh, Abraham Lincoln being taken out in Civil War diplomacy. But you see here, so I showed you the Federal Reserve Bank of New York has the Roman Reef, and look at the United States Federal Reserve System, Roman Reef right here. Okay, guys, you see that? Here's again United States Federal Reserve System. Okay, Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Okay, I'm just gonna show you the last connections. I added these to the video my last video, but I didn't show them in the video. Give me a second here. Here's my channel. Here it is. Give me a second. The video. Okay, so I found some Roman Reef connections to space agencies that are not NASA. Okay, so I'll show you those. But here's Operation High Jump, Task Force 68. Yeah, look at this patch right here. Okay, the Navy South Pole Expedition. Adolf Hitler's nephew became employed by the United States Navy. William Hitler in 1944. You see here, United States Navy Operation High Jump, Navy South Pole Expedition, Task Force 68, Roman Reef, right there. Yeah, can't make that up. Okay, yeah, look, I'm sure in those Saturn festivals, like the laurel, like the crowning of laurels is a very ancient, like pagan tradition. So I'm sure they were crowning uh like the aristocrats with laurel wreaths at those Saturnalia festivals. So I got to look into that. Yeah, so you saw Operation High Jump, and I did a video on this, but the fascist military veterans organization in the United States, the American Legion, has a Roman Reef. You see right here, American Legion U.S. See my mouse? Okay, Roman Reef. Okay, and the space agencies. Here's Pakistan Space Agency. It's called the Pakistan Space and Upper Atmosphere Research Commission. And you see that, the Roman Reef right here. Okay, here's another one. It's called Superco. Pakistan Space Upper Atmosphere Research Commission, Roman Reef. Okay, and the Chinese Space Agency has a Roman Reef as well. Here, I'll show you that. I cover that here. It's called CNA, China National Space Agency. Look what the Chinese National Space Agency has underneath. Here, the Roman Reef. Okay, CNSA. Yeah, interesting. There was a quote from a this is a quick quote I wrote in this comment from Theodore Greisinger's book, History of the Jesuits, page 280. This is a quote from the general of the Jesuits, Acquavia, or Claudio Acquavia. Quote, it was therefore said of Claudio Acquavia, who governed the order that is the Society of Jesus between the years 1581 and 1615, that he once exclaimed, quote, why are there not regions beyond the stars that one might be able to conquer other worlds than that pertaining to Earth? End quote. There you go, guys. The Jesuits are wanting to conquer not just Earth, but other realms in the universe as well. Okay, and that you can see with their space agencies, it's in the symbolism. Okay, and I showed you in the first video that new space kingdom, Asgardia, has a Roman Reef in the logo. Yeah, but yeah, that's the batch I wanted to show you in this video, and I wanted to keep it pretty short. But that's all of YouTube. Peace and love, and Namnas.